Liz, and today I filmed for you a soft and romantic Valentine's Day look. Valentine's Day is on February 14th. It is coming up this weekend in just 3 days, so if you haven't bought a present for your significant other, now's the time to head out and try to find something really quickly. But if you are planning on going out to dinner or a movie or something like that, I think my husband and I are probably going to go watch Deadpool because that's kind of the couple that we are, and maybe go out to dinner. But if you are planning on going out this weekend with your significant other and you're looking for a really pretty makeup tutorial to kind of get you through from day to night, this is the perfect one. So this is a very soft makeup tutorial. It's not too harsh. It's using all pinks and creams on the eyes to make it really easy to wear. And I am using the Covergirl TruNaked Roses palette in this tutorial. This is a drugstore palette. I'm using the drugstore on the eyes and on the lips. So if you don't own any kind of high-end eyeshadows, but you are looking for a nice way to kind of look prettier for your night out, this palette is perfect. It actually retails for between $6 to $8 depending on where you buy it, and the colors are perfect. They're so buttery and creamy and pigmented, and they go on so nicely, and they blend out a lot easier than even some of the high-end eyeshadows that I have used. So I really recommend it, and this is an easy look to get. It's just a few simple colors, and it's really quick to do. So if you want to see how to get this look, then go ahead and keep watching. So to start off the look, I'm going to be taking the shimmery champagne color and a flat shader brush, and I'm just going to sweep this all over the lid. I feel like it would not be a tutorial of mine if I didn't use a shimmery champagne color all over the lid. But as you can see, I am sweeping it. I'm not patting it on. I don't want a super high concentration of color. I just want a nice wash of color. And I am getting it in the inner corner to help brighten up the eye. And then I'm just going to take that same brush and I'm going to take the darker shimmer color in the palette. This is a really pretty pinky peach shimmer. It looks similar to the champagne, but I promise it's a darker shade. And because it is a pink, it really brings a soft look to the eye, but it is still very wearable. Some pinks can be really hard to wear, especially if you have a warm undertone, but this one has enough lightness in it that it's really easy to wear. This has a little bit of glitter, so make sure you really don't pack too much on at one time. You really need to make sure you go back in and build the color up as you go. And I am patting and sweeping that on. And then using a tapered blending brush, this is the Sigma E45 brush, I'm taking the two matte shades in the palette as a transition. One is just a really pretty light purple and the other one is a true mauve shade. And these make the perfect transition shade. Now a transition shade is just a matte shade to put in the crease to really bring the eye together. Too much shimmer on the eye can really age the look of your eyes and make you look a little bit older, so you really want to make sure that you bring in a little bit of a matte shade into the crease just to blend out. And because this is a drugstore palette, there can be a little bit of fallout, so I'm just sweeping that away, and then I'm going back in and blending a little bit more of that transition shade into the crease. And then using the same brush, I'm taking the second darkest shade in the palette, which is a beautiful shade. It's not necessarily brown and it's not necessarily plum. It's a little bit in the middle, and I'm just putting this directly into my crease and I'm using circular motions to blend it in. And if you notice, I'm keeping this on the outer part of my eye. Taking this too far in on my eye will really make the look too harsh, and we want to keep this as soft as possible. And then I'm just going to go in and repeat that for the other eye, again using circular motions to blend that into the socket. And I'm starting in the middle of the eye and working my way around to the lash line. And if you notice, I did go back in and pick up a little more. For a darker shade, you want to make sure that you don't start out too harsh. And then using a clean blending brush, I'm just going to make sure all of those edges are perfectly blended and they're soft. You don't want your edges to be too harsh. You always want to go in and blend, blend, blend. And then taking the pencil brush, on the other end of that same brush, I am just going to take the dark shade that I put in my outer V, and I'm just going to run that along my lower lash line. I'm not going to be lining my lower lashes because it does make the look too harsh, and I really recommend, if you are following this look, to not line your lower lash line, to instead use a little bit of an eyeshadow. And then using the same tapered blending brush, I'm going to go in with the Lattice Transition shade, which is just a matte, and I'm going to smoke out that lower lash line to really eliminate any harshness and to kind of break that color down so it's not as dark. And then to line, well, actually I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sweep away some of the fallout. I forgot there was so much fallout during this look. And then to line my eyes, I'm going to be using the NYX Gel Eyeliner and a Tarte flat eyeliner brush, and I'm just going to create a very small wing on my upper lash line. I'm not going to be bringing this down onto the lower lashes, and I am starting just in the middle of my eye and working my way out. I'm not bringing this all the way into the tear duct because I want to keep that as light and bright as possible, and I find that lining all the way from the outer to the inner of your eyes can really aid you, and it can make the look very, very harsh. And of course, it would not be me if I could not get them to match. So I really have to spend a lot of time on this eye, try to get it to look similar to the other one. And if you notice, I have to go back in and pick up a little bit extra product just to get them to even out. And then because I thought that they were still a little bit too harsh, I am taking a flat shader brush, if I can find it, and I'm just going to go in and soften out that liner. I really want to keep the look as soft as possible, so that's why I'm doing this, and it just creates a little bit of a nicer look to the eyes. And then using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, I am going to go in and put a couple of coats on my eyes, and this is the only non-drugstore product that I'm using for this tutorial. However, the sample size is only $10 from Sephora, so if you're interested in trying it, I really recommend that you go and pick some up from Sephora. And I am putting some on my lower lash line. Now, a dupe for this mascara is the Maybelline Colossal Lash, which does have a very large brush, and it does really lengthen and really make your lashes look thicker. However, it doesn't have the same staying power as the Better Than Sex mascara, so if you are going to be using it and you're going to be out all day, just keep that in mind that you might want to bring something to kind of sweep away if it does kind of run underneath your eyes. And then I am going to move on to the lips, and I'm just using the e.l.f. HD blush, and this is a cream blush, but it's beautiful on the lips, and I take a little bit on the back of my hand, and using my finger, I'm just going to go ahead and put this on my lips. And this does give me a lot of control by using my finger, and it really helps me build up the color. Now this is a blush, but it's beautiful as a lip stain because it will stay all night long, and you can really make the color as dark as you want. And that is the finished look. So let me know what you think, and of course, as always, subscribe.